Happy Honda Days and Merry Toyotathon to all of you. What a fucking year it has been. Despite 2020's wretchedness, it was a fantastic and memorable year for gaming. So I'm going to run through my top 5 games and some gaming memories that stand out to me from the year. First up, let's get some honorable mentions out of the way. First honorable mention is West of Dead, a solid atmospheric roguelike twin-stick shooter with the voice of Ron Perlman. Made by only 4 people, previously at Lionhead Studios. The devs at Upstream Arcade absolutely nailed this game. If this year didn't include the likes of Hades and Spelunky 2, I think this game would have been higher on roguelike fans' must-play lists. That said, the game is criminally underplayed, and it's on Game Pass, so you should go check that out. Honorable mention number 2 is Spiritfarer. Thunder Lotus has been a go-to indie dev for me, with their previous releases of Jotun and Sundered. So when Spiritfarer was announced, I was immediately hyped. This game is so damn wholesome. I'm not usually into management games, but this one really hooked me for a while. The length was also surprising too, with up to about 30 hours or so of gameplay. Being able to hug your companions in a year that you couldn't hug your real-world friends was just great. The only reason I think it didn't make my top 5 was because I've yet to finish the story, and to me it feels like there is a lot of weight at the conclusion of this game. So without any further ado, let's hop into the top 5, starting at number 5, Griftlands. I still haven't played Slay the Spire, but this game definitely scratched the card game itch for me this year. Having a deck for conversation and one for combat is a fun twist to the card battler formula. The RPG/divergent story elements, along with its cartoony art style, make Griftlands a standout. It was in early access last year, but hit 1.0 this year, and I was obsessed with it for almost an entire month. And for my short attention span brain, that definitely makes an impact. It's a fantastic game, very well done. It's on PC and Switch, so check that out if you get a chance. To be a great Switch game. If I had a Switch, I'd play it there. Number 4. Wasteland 3. CRPGs have really grown on me the last few years. The greatness of Divinity Original Sin 2 has put CRPGs near the top of games I get excited for. As far as Wasteland is concerned, I didn't like Wasteland 2, but the third installment made some great improvements. With Microsoft acquiring the developer in Exile Entertainment, it's clear in gameplay, presentation, and writing that their money went to good use. Still haven't finished this one, but I cannot wait to return to the post-apocalyptic Colorado. Number 3, Hades. Seeing Supergiant Games grow since their debut game Bastion has been a joy. Each game, Bastion, Transistor, Empire, allowed the team to be creative and learn how to combine elements from each to make the outstanding Hades. Hades wouldn't exist without the others, and it's clear when you play them where the influences come from. The characters are well written, and the gameplay is phenomenal. Still haven't beaten the Lord of the Underworld, but I plan to during the holidays. Got to Hades once. He just kicked my ass. So I got to get back in there. I got to do that again. And I just got to get back at it. It's been a while. I got to get that muscle memory back. Number 2, Cyberpunk 2077. What a hard game to talk about without people on the internet getting mad at you. It's wild. I personally love this game, and I'm playing on PC. The side quests, the interesting characters, and the most impressive world ever built in gaming makes this a close second to my game of the year. I was going to write a big piece for the website called The Curious Case of Cyberpunk Guilt and Other Mysteries by Chris Mowry, but I don't know that it's worth all the BS that could possibly come with it. So I'm tabling that. Might come back to it. I don't know that it's worth all the hubbub. Unfortunately, CDPR has royally screwed this thing up. And let me be clear, not the artists or the devs, but the upper management side and the board members have tarnished what should have been another milestone in video games. When it works, this game is the best Bethesda-like RPG I have ever played, and it's not even close. I've had no major crashes, some silly bugs, but nothing game-breaking. It just really sucks that a lot of people haven't had the same experience I have. To me, it's one of the best games of the generation, and I hope that eventually you give it a chance once it's patched. And my number one, my personal game of the year, The Last of Us Part 2. Few games have ever reached this level of storytelling. This felt big. A moment in gaming that leaves our gaming universe and stretches into film and literature. I can't remember ever finishing a game and needing to have a conversation with people about it. I've done that with movies plenty of times, and book lovers know all about that. It may not seem like it now, but this game changes things. The bar for peak storytelling in video games has been set and will influence generations of creators in not only gaming, but film, television, and even music. After we all forget about the leaks and the terrible internet community that attacked the game's creators, this game will be looked back on as a masterpiece, and rightfully so. So I'm going to get into some of my favorite memories from the year of 2020, and I'm just going to give you a warning that spoilers are happening. Warning, there be spoilers here. One of the memories that's not a spoiler, we'll start there, is the first time stepping out into Night City in Cyberpunk 2077. This world is just wild to look at and interact with. It is so well done. Not enough can be said about the world they have built here, the lore that they are getting from the board game or the pen and paper. It is just... It's so good, and it's unfortunate that CD Projekt has done all these other things that have screwed it up, because I feel like instead of the conversation being about, holy shit, look at this, the world is incredible, it is just rife with awful, awful things that have happened in its marketing, in its release. It's so sad, man, because this game... It's probably going to be some people's game of the year, right? And it is just underneath Last of Us 2 for me. But man, it could have been better. It could have been this giant achievement, and unfortunately, that's not how it's ever going to be remembered. Hopefully, maybe things get fixed and DLC keeps coming and all these things, and then like a year from now, we're looking back on it, we're like, that game is fucking amazing. But alas, we are here, and it's not that right now, unfortunately. Another great gaming memory for me. Actually, I'm going to go get this. I'm going to get a visual aid. As a lot of you know, I work in the music industry, and it has been a tough year. A lot of unemployment and things being very, very tight. So this Christmas, didn't travel, didn't go to St. Louis to see one side of my family, and just kind of told everybody, hey, it's going to be a little tight. Don't be expecting any crazy gifts or anything like that. And then... my sisters sent me, or my family from St. Louis sent me all the gifts from that side of the family. And the one for my sisters was kind of like a large box. And I was like, what is that? Remember I said it was going to be tight? So I open it up, and it's PlayStation VR. I was blown away. Incredibly thankful. And man, VR is fun. It's cool. It's really cool. I wish I could show it off to more people, but I was able to show it to my uncle and my father. We had a great time playing Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes and things like that. What a cool thing. And obviously it's going to be expanded upon in coming years. And I know this isn't the highest end that you can possibly get, but I had really no interest in VR, and not really that excited for it, or it wasn't like on my list of like, I need to get one of those, And then it's like the perfect Christmas gift because you're not expecting it, and it's something that you would have never bought yourself. It's a great memory to open it up and be able to sit there on a Zoom call with my sisters and be like, oh my God, thank you, this is amazing. So yeah, PSVR, That's one of my memories for sure. Another memory that I have, and there is spoilers here. Here we go. Last of Us Part 2. This whole game is a spoiler, and a lot of people had it ruined for them, and that sucks. Don't read comments. Don't read Reddit. That's my advice to you there, because I didn't have anything spoiled. I knew Joel was going to die. I knew that when they were like, we're coming out with Last of Us Part 2. I knew that was probably going to be a part of it. And I love that character. And this game, the way it's told and the way it allows you to feel for the bad guy and then make them the person you play as, to where by the end you are rooting for her more than you're rooting for Ellie. It's a feat. It's a feat of storytelling and character work. It's really, really incredible. So many moments from this are my moments of the year. The theater fight, which is fucking crazy. Because at that point, I still wasn't fully on Abby's side. I was still Ellie, on Ellie's side. And that cutscene at the end of that boss fight, where so much happens, you can't breathe. Like, I just sat there with my mouth open as... so you think Ellie's about to die at the hands of Abby, and then here comes Dina trying to save her, which we already know Dina is pregnant. So when Dina starts taking some seriously brutal hits from Abby, it is horrifying. My mouth was just agape the whole time. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then Abby holds her up with a knife to her throat, and Ellie goes, "Please don't. She's pregnant." And Abby replies, "Good." And the reason she does that is because Ellie has already murdered one of her friends that was pregnant, which Ellie didn't know. But, yeah, it's a moment, and Lev stops her. Lev just says, "Abby." And Abby lets it go and walks away. And it is just a moment that was so powerful and meaningful. And on Thomas's, too, he says, the museum scene, of course, was a big one. The ending of the game and getting to the menu screen to see Catalina Island and know that Lev and Abby made it. This whole game, to me, is the moment of 2020. I could spoil the whole damn thing. I know that we're working on a spoiler discussion with Walt Gray, a guest on the podcast before. And, that whole game is a moment to me. And there's tiny moments in there that just make it just one big one. But that game, I can't, it's hard to talk about without really diving in and being emotional about it. It's also been, I don't know, 6 months almost or longer since I played it. So I did re-listen to my spoiler discussion with Isaiah Radke of the band Radke on my podcast, Look Who's Talking Now. I re-listened to that to help sort of get my thoughts together for this and talk about The Last of Us in a way. Because at that time, it was fresh in my mind. I had all these ideas, all these things. So if you want to go check that out, you can just look up Look Who's Talking Mao on your podcast platform of choice. It was a really good discussion. I know we're going to do one with Party Invite here soon. Excited for that. And another big memory for me is starting Party Invite. It has been really amazing to see the support we're getting. We just got our first patron. Woo woo! Thank you. With our collaboration with Crane Brewing, we were able to raise $925 for KU Pediatrics, which is just crazy through Extra Life. I can't believe we raised that much. Wow. Thank you to everyone that's been supportive. Thank you to everyone that's subscribed on YouTube. thank you to anyone that's just lurking and following us and not even communicating. It means a lot to see the views on YouTube go up, to see the followers go up. We're very early on here. It's been 2 months, and we're very excited for what is to come here in the future for Party Invite. Things will change. We'll work out the kinks. We'll figure it out to bring you better content. But thank you to everyone that has been so supportive of us. And I think that's going to do it for my 2020 retrospective. Very excited for what is to come in 2021. Thank you.